Today we're talking about the boy child. We got a message from a viewer, which I thought was really profound. Let me read the message to you. She says, I was in UI about 2 years ago for her daughter's graduation. She said that girls were winning almost all the awards. In fact, a girl was the valedictorian. She sat amongst parents, and all of them were asking themselves, where are the boys to marry these girls? A very important question all along we've been asking and talking about the girl child. The girl child are not paying attention to the boy child. The boys are now into cultism, drug addiction, area boys, kidnapping, armed robbery, all manner of vices. I believe it's time for the nation to shift attention to the boy child. And I think this is an interesting conversation to have because there are lots of women empowering events, focus on the girl child, and everybody comes up with these NGOs, and everybody just focus on this young woman. Yes, we understand girls have been discriminated against for years, and there's still discrimination against the gender, absolutely. But have we focused on empowering the girl child to the point where we totally abandon the boy child? Why are we having this increase in kidnapping by these boys? We have cultism. We have these Yahoo boys all over town. And we're wondering what happened. Where do we miss the mark? How do we ensure we don't continue to make these mistakes going forward?
For me, I'm not surprised. You know, there was a time the girl child was the focus. It was not for a bad reason, but because, you know, in the olden days, the girls were not even allowed to excel or even try to attempt at growing academically. But subtly but surely, what we now did is that we pushed the boys, and the goal for pushing the boys was not for them to get educated. It was because they were supposed to be the providers of families. And when the boys now started to graduate and the jobs were not there, people started to ask, who will help? It became a street slogan. Boys will start to say, the book, school where you go, you get BSc, who will help? Because you end up doing the white-collar jobs were supposed to be that if you perform well in school or you even go to school at all, you get an opportunity at corporate life or civil service. But now you need to know somebody, and they will not say, "Ento more way, no more way."
Many of us are not understood. The world has changed, and the boy child of this generation is not responding the way our parents' boy children responded. You know, there was a culture of responsibility that forced men into becoming men very early. You know, as you're growing up, you are a man. The other girls in the family couldn't go to school. You're going to school. You have to take care of your family. There's that sense of responsibility, the weight of responsibility put on men our own age, from when they're very young to take care of their younger ones, to fend for the family. That sense of responsibility is shifting, and the world is changing, and parents are not understanding how to catch up with the boys of nowadays. So we face the girls that we can face. We face the girls that we can handle. We face the girls because we feel like, oh, all girls have been disadvantaged. I've been disadvantaged. The mothers feel like we've been disadvantaged. The mothers are encouraging their daughters to do well, and then the boys are looking at life in a different world where they are under immense pressure with the social media and life generally. So there's a lot of things affecting men. The idea of successful women is no longer something strange anymore. It's more common. Maybe we celebrate it more because it's a woman, but it is a fact. Also, it is more worrisome because there are many ladies successful in their 20s looking for responsible men that can marry them. And it's a case of there are not enough men that can match up with the level they are in. In the banking sector, in the oil and gas sector, there are many successful women who is as if men are being intimidated by the level of wealth that they have. So we do have a problem, and we can decide how we want to solve it. We must acknowledge that there's a problem, that we have more men right now that are not able to match up financially to the women, and women are now making as much money as men, and it's a threat.
How do we therefore focus all the conversation to the boys?
It will just be, do what you're doing for the girls. Have conversations with them as well. I see that in my son as well. There are some things I say to him. It takes him longer to accept it if it's me, but when his father steps in, he, immediately understands what he's meant to do and wants to prove himself to his father, wants to make his father proud. So it's important that we have the older men now show up for the younger boys. Simple. Give them good examples. Just show. And then be more involved in schools, especially Nigerian schools. When you go for PTA, you see lots of mothers, you see very few fathers. We know that you're at work, working so hard, and so you cannot make time. But it's important, let's make that time, you know, so that the boys can see, okay, if this is what I can end up being, this is who I can end up being.
If the woman who was discriminated against, right, grew up and said she wants to create opportunities for the child, the girl child coming behind her, the men who also have been through challenges must fill that gap for the boys behind them. So, yeah,
the difference is that the men do not have those challenges. They don't think there are. Because
they don't think so.
Yes, because once you're a man and you want to go to school, really, not many cultures will stop you from going to school. You want to get a job, not many things would be in your way. So there's no challenges like that to pull.
But we're saying based on where we are now.
Where we are now, we're just trying to say, you've pushed the girls so much that the boys seem complacent. So men, it looks like you need to just pick up a bit more and encourage them to push a little harder.
Men, there's work to do. There's work to be done. Because I'm sure it's
not just about making money.
You're right. There wasn't any serious institutional discrimination against them. But we understand that men do have their own challenges. And those little challenges, the young ones behind you also need guidance. So I think men should sit up to the responsibility to ensure that the boy child is also taken care of.